Yeah, why would somebody do, 1.6 per kilogram of body
Oh,
mass versus lean body mass? From my understanding, adipose tissue doesn't need much protein to maintain itself. So wondering why one versus the other.
yeah. So in our course, we'll give both. The reason that I tend to do that is, I guess I'm defaulting to the least common denominator. Not everybody knows their current body composition, so they're not going to be able to base it on that, or that wouldn't mean something to them. But if your clientele knows their body composition pretty much at all the time, then it makes sense. So it'd just be base it on your clientele. And in the research literature, which is kind of where I live, it's almost always kilograms per body weight.
Is there a reason for that? Because I know, like, as somebody gets like larger and larger, then it's obviously more likely you would want to go lean body mass because you can't eat 220 grams of protein. That's really tough for a woman, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Then it would be more appropriate. So it's really, because I know from what I understand, whether you're on the low end or the high end of your range of protein, you're not getting any additional muscular benefits or whatever. So really is the only benefit really a better thermic output if you're going, higher end of your protein versus the low end of your personal threshold.
And one comment on what you said. Yeah. When you do make protein intake recommendations based on body weight, in people with obesity, it's yes. So there, you really do want to base it on kilograms of fat-free mass, or another technique is what is their goal weight? And you can base it on that. Your second question was related to the ranges of your protein. So as you get real high or as you get real low, what was the question?
So everybody has like a little range of protein that's optimal for them, right? But regardless of being on the low end or the high end of that, you're not getting any real additional benefit for being on the high end versus low end, aside from maybe more thermic output.
But you're definitely going to get that. And the way that I explain the way that I explain going higher and higher on protein is two things. You get most of your benefit going from suboptimal to the low threshold of optimal. Mm-hmm. So you're getting a ton of benefit there. Once you're in your range, your low end to your high end, you're still getting more and more of a benefit. You're getting benefit, but that benefit becomes less and less the higher you go, if that makes sense. So let's just use let's say your range, to make it easy here. Your range is between 10 and 20. That's your optimal range of protein intake. If somebody's currently eating 5 and you go get them from 5 to 10, they're going to get a lot of benefit. Going from 10 to 20, some benefit, but less and less the higher and higher you go. And that's relative to muscle. So you keep increasing muscle protein synthesis the higher and higher you go, but again, it gets less and less and less. And we also have muscle protein breakdown. So the higher and higher you go, you also get less and less muscle protein breakdown. But let's not forget the big picture. The benefit becomes pretty much maybe insignificant or very marginal the higher and higher you go. I do want to say this. There does appear to be consistent body fat benefits with higher protein intakes in people who are resistance training. So muscle mass, going from adequate to higher, not so much. But we have multiple studies in humans that as protein intakes get higher, for a reason that's unknown to me, other than the thermic effect of food, which would be the only answer I could even give, body fat has one of two outcomes. It either does not increase or it actually goes down.
Wow.
And let me say, that's if protein only is increased. You can't increase all calories. Protein alone in resistance training people.